Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good. Block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins Tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins Tailgate's where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins Tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins Tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL-wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins Tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Fins Tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
What it is, what it do. Welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate with your host El Capitan. Tonight on the tailgate party that never seems to stop. We gotta actually, what are we calling the day after preseason now? Because it is 53-man roster. It's a red letter day. I mean, it's a rough day for young guys, for bubble guys, for guys that, just need a little bit more. We're going to get into that. Dolphins with some notable cuts today. Some little bit of surprises, maybe even. We're going to get into all that. Also, some other injury news that we're going to also get into. We'll do some predictions. And Ali and I will also figure out what notable cuts have been done around here that maybe the Dolphins can look to upgrade in positions of need. But first, on your way in, make sure you guys are hitting the like button if you're watching on X, Twitch, Twitter, Kick, Facebook, Cup on a String, Smoke Signals, Flare Gun, however you're enjoying the program. Make sure you guys come over here to YouTube and subscribe over here and become part of the family. Make sure you guys are taking part in all of the things we're trying to do here at the Fins Tailgate. And if there's more you guys want to look into, that we got some other stuff going on, you guys can go check out tftgnetwork.com. tftgnetwork.com. Make sure you guys are checking it out. Shout out to everybody in chat. I see Ms. Relentless made it in here. What's up, Ms. Relentless? She be. I see you on Twitter, Ms. Relentless. Man, why my camera doing this to me? Why you did that? Was it all the dancing I was doing when the whatchamacallit was going on? Hold up. Hold up. Wait. No? All right. Hold on a second. All right, there you go. Okay. Shout out to Ms. Relentless who gets in here early. I see you on X, Ms. Relentless. Liz in the building. Hello, Liz. Grumpy. Grumpy, what was that text you sent me? Calm down. Welcome home, Grumpy. Welcome home. Hit the like button. John Featherland. What's going on, buddy? Resident Bills trash can. Michelle. Okay. Shout out to West Coast Florida Dolphins Club. Make sure you guys are checking the boys out, coming at you every week. Papa Paul, Winners, the whole gang coming at you. Lucan, what's good, dog? What it is? Jamie, what's going on, buddy? Hit the like button. Go Dewey Finn. What's going on? Bryson. Maybe your background if it was in a porta potty. See, this guy, I'm telling you, he imagines me in the most vulgar and really borderline sexually explicit ways. And it's been a pattern for, I don't know, dude, what, going on almost 4 years now? So just keep an eye out for him in chat, guys. Watch out for that creep. Without any further ado, what's up, Raph? Hit the like button. We're gonna bring up Ali. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. Just so you know, that's a lot to say from Michael K, the guy who represents a team's stadium that looks like a toilet bowl. Just gonna point that out.
Oh my god, it does. It looks like a giant bedpan.
So maybe he's thinking that's good because his team looks like a toilet bowl. So he wants you to represent a toilet bowl. But I will say, I will critique your office. I think my office is way better lit, to be honest. I think you should come over to my office because my office looks better than yours. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, so, with the lighting?
No hate intended. No hate intended.
Yeah, you're definitely in a brighter setup for sure. I gotta, I'm working with another camera here soon. What up, Duke? Hit the like button, my brother.
Yeah, everyone hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on the notification bell. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot of Dolphins content.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Let's get right into it, man. First things first, 53-man roster cut this Monday. It's the end of the preseason. This is the week off. We all know, I forget exactly which day it is, but they all have to be 53-man roster compliant come a certain point. Is it Thursday morning? What day was it that they all have to get?
That's actually a good question. Let me verify that.
Yeah, so we'll verify that momentarily. As you verify that, we've seen this now since the preseasons have changed and they've added the new season that come after this third preseason game. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys are ending up jobless.
It's actually coming sooner than later. It is tomorrow by 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, so tomorrow by 4 p.m.
We got a lot of cuts to go. We got a lot more to go. Bro.
Yes, we do, and we're going to get into it. And there's going to be a lot more cuts made around the NFL, and I think a lot of teams are holding on to some of their guys because they're hoping to see other guys being cut that maybe they can target. And then also, bro, you got to think about potential trades. And there's been, a couple of sneaky little rumors going around about things. What's up, Joe Riss? Salute, homie. El Cap's office ain't for reading if you catch my That's why I got a couch over there. Hold on, let me show you. See, there it is. Right there. Yeah. Hit the like button.
I have a couch too.
Yeah.
I got the TV set up in mine, so.
That's true. You do. What's up, Ghost? Hit the like button. So yeah, let's get right into it. what name can we call? There's there's Black Monday, but that's for when coaches and stuff are fired and stuff like that. So you can't
Black
really use.
Days.
I don't know. Is it, well? I don't know if it's always on a Tuesday, but the Monday after the final preseason game, there's inevitably 10 to 12 people on every roster ended up jobless. What could we call this Monday? Because I'm trying to think just off top hand. Can't use Black Monday because again, that's for when coaches all get fired at the end of the season.
Let me see what AI says. That'd be interesting.
Delusional. Trade Tua for a CB. Raf, that's a bold move. What CB? I mean, if you're talking about Patrick Surtain, I kind of like that. Yeah, that's Courtright. Michael K.
I hate that they changed it to everyone's like email or whatever. I hate
the
that.
@ you can go to the @ and change it. It's no problem. But I think they did that because I want to say there was probably like a security thing they had to do. And they want people to change it to do like a triple check-in.
Oh, I gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? They do updates, so you have to check in so they can find the bots. Meanwhile, they did this, and there's a million more bots. Riddle me this.
So, surprisingly, fans in the media often do call it Black Monday of the preseason.
That's kind of like
NFL Cut Day. Let me see here.
Yeah, I kind of knew. Well, now they're calling it like that. I don't know. What's up, Sean? Red, white, and bills. I don't know what to call it, but again, I think this 53-man roster.
You want to call it the Great Purge?
Purge Mondays. Ooh, I like that.
Purge Mondays. I like
Purge
that.
Purge Mondays.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Purge Mondays, right?
We'll call it.
And we'll call it Purge Mondays and No Taco Tuesdays, baby. You know what I'm saying? For what? I don't know, whatever. But Purge Mondays, I like that. Hashtag Purge Mondays for the 53-man roster initial cuts because those guys aren't even roster bubble guys. A lot of them being cut. They're the first out the door. They're not even going to hang on to some of these guys. And there's some interesting names coming up that the Miami Dolphins actually did let go. And let's get right into them. So who's been cut? There's been quite a bit of players. I have the count at 11 right now. Now, I could be wrong. There, someone told me that there was 12 guys cut. I can't think of who the 12th guy is, and that's kind of sad. Ali, I'm going to go through them just real quickly. And I'll start with defensive lineman Ben Stille. He got cut.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive lineman Mason Brooks. He gets cut.
Yep.
O-lineman Jalen McKenzie. O-lineman Jackson Cartman, which I don't even think we've seen him this year.
I think we saw him for the first game, I think.
Okay, well then O-lineman Addison West. If he played, I didn't watch. I'm not lying. If he played, I didn't watch. AJ, wide receiver AJ Henning, who that was the guy that was getting targeted a lot by Ewers. Remember, he was the guy that lit it up for that Ewers game. DB Cameron Dantzler, which Dantzler is not a football name. Color would say that guy was going to get cut no matter what he did.
He's the guy that we signed when everyone thought we were bringing Asante Samuel Jr. into the building. That's the guy we signed, by the way.
Yeah, I remember that. That when the rumor hit an all-time apex, they signed that guy. Yeah, I remember that. He's been here. I think he's been here about 8 days.
He walked in the building. We kicked the tires and said, "See ya."
Yeah, like, all right. Next guy to come up. Now, this is a name that, Dolphin fans might remember just a little bit of, even though he's a roster bubble guy who eventually got cut. Cornerback Ethan Robinson. This was the guy who had that pick to seal the end of the game against the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, could you say a surprise? I would say not really, but whatever, right? Next up, tight end Chris Merrick. This was a guy who they got up off the couch, but he came in just taking some snaps, things like that, yada, yada, yada. Here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. Both of the running backs that the Dolphins brought in after Madison went down, and even now that Wright seems to be banged up, that coach said he's not going to be ready for week 1. Put it that way, Jalen Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Is the implication. Both of the running backs, Mike Boone and Aaron Shamklin, have both been cut as well. That's a little bit of a surprise to me because apparently, right now you got Achane, who I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. I would say don't push it. And by all accounts, I feel like he's a little bit worse off than they're letting on to be. Jalen Wright, there's talk about Jalen Wright might maybe getting some minor surgery. I don't know if you've seen this, but something came across my timeline. There's talk of him potentially getting minor surgery for something that, he could be back before the end of the year. I think, to me, this minor surgery with Jalen Wright is that kind of IR stash for later in the year type of stuff. But okay, you got one healthy running back.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things that you need to just kind of hold your horses. Just hold your horses. We've seen this happen previous years. I want to say it was last year, even the year before. Just because they cut him, they could announce their 53. And then once they announce the 53, move someone to the IR or whatever, waiver exempt that they're going to put them on, and then bring one of these running backs, which I'm thinking might be Boone, to be honest. Could bring them back. That is an option for the Dolphins. So just because you got cut right now doesn't mean you're not going to end up on the roster when it's all set.
I completely agree that they've gotten Shamklin and Boone and said, listen, either one of these guys that we like, say they like them equally, whichever one clears waivers, we can put back on the roster once we make our practice squad and our protected IR guys and the PUP guys and stuff like that. Yeah. So but also I think they're going to look to upgrade. There's a little bit of a rumor going around about the running back. Now, this is unconfirmed. Unconfirmed.
Yeah, and keyword unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed.
We're not saying this is just a rumor that came on the feed. That's it. That's all it is.
This is a big time rumor. Okay.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Is that the Dolphins are interested in getting Travis Etienne, who the Jaguars seem to be out on. And that there's no future set in. Now, remember, they did have a joint practice. And if y'all remember, on the last day of the joint practice, they agreed to have an easier day practice, and everyone played accordingly, right? So that's a pretty good relationship as far as whom and everyone's being coached and talked about. They probably got a lot of talking about Travis Etienne in this instance. So if it does happen, are we going to be too surprised? What are we talking about? What kind of trade compensation are they looking for? Is there somebody that's on the Miami Dolphins that they were interested in, that they've seen out there? Maybe is there a D tackle they're looking at? I know they need one. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying there's some interesting parts to that thread.
I will say this. Travis Etienne is a Chris Greer special, if you know what I mean. Because if memory serves me right, which I'm about to check,
he's had his fair share of injuries, buddy. Exactly. And he was a highly drafted player. I want to say he was drafted what was he drafted in the first round? Wasn't he?
Travis, let me check.
He was drafted extremely high.
Let me check that.
And an often injured first round draft pick.
Yeah, he was 25th overall. 25th overall.
Yes, I remember.
So in the 2021 draft. So he's had his fair share of injuries. I want to say his first season as a rookie, he had a big injury. So that being said, maybe Chris Greer has a good relationship with the Jaguars. Maybe he can work out a really fair, maybe team-friendly deal, to be honest. That's definitely possible. Will they do it? That's the big question. We've had opportunity to sign several running backs. We had, who was it, Jamal Williams in the house the other day. And I actually thought that would be the guy you'd want to pick because Jamal Williams, he led the league in touchdowns. The guy was a beast for the Lions. You know what I mean? I would like him as part of our room. He's a bigger back. He's that one style running back we don't necessarily have. Now we have Ollie Gordon. Don't get me wrong. Ollie
Yeah.
Gordon is a more physical back. He can
But
lay a hit.
they need that change of pace type of pass catching little scat back type of thing if Achan's going to be out a few weeks. And I'm sorry,
That's true.
that's Achan light. Achan's on the up, Etienne's on the way down. But again, if we're talking a month of football and there's a 7th round swap involved and they just take the money, this is a real thing. Let's continue with a couple more of these cuts. The next kind of surprise on here, and I don't think anyone could say it's kind of surprise, is Mike Hilton, the cornerback we brought in here. This is a veteran guy in a cornerback room that is extremely no bueno, right? Like we've got like what's going on? Again, what are we talking about here? This is a guy. All right. So when he didn't come out on the starting defense for the preseason 3 game, I noticed. I didn't say nothing then, but now I'm thinking back, and that's typically not a good sign. Was he just performing that bad? Or the Dolphins just so set on getting, going young and cheap in the secondary? Because I know they have Sheffield, which, I mean, he's been kind of injured, but he's a little nicked up. Maybe he's going to be all right. Maybe it's just a week he needs to take off and he'll be ready week 1. Is he going to make the roster? Do they have their eyes on other CBs in the league? I do know that Mike Hilton was essentially going to be the slot corner. And I'm going to tell you right now, Jason Marshall done took his job. They done took his job. And the rookie showing up, 6th round rookie, really playing well, and came in here and took a veteran's job, a guy who's got a little bit of something. Like, I mean, he's got some film. It's pretty interesting.
And that's another thing I wanted to say is, like, watching preseason, the players that popped a lot more often, they haven't been cut yet. You know what I mean? Marshall, to his credit, he flashed a little bit more. He popped a little bit more. As
all you're looking for in the preseason. Who's showing up?
Yeah, he showed up, right? Sheffield in the beginning, especially the first week or 2 of preseason, he showed up. So I expect him. I think we might keep him, to be honest. Mike Hilton and Jack Jones did not flash as much as I would have liked. Not at all. Jack Jones was slightly better than Mike Hilton, in my opinion. And I have faith Marshall can handle it. I think he'll be good. He'll be able to handle it. There is some names that just became available today.
Well, we'll get into those a little bit later, because
I'm just letting you know there are names, so maybe they're looking at that. But ultimately, I think I kind of expected it. They signed him for like super cheap deal anyways. There was no money involved really, besides like 1.1 million or something like that. It was something
it was listen, they only paid him a few $100,000 to be here for these past couple of weeks. That's it.
Yeah.
Whatever the rate is. All right. So the last surprising name, and this was a guy I think a lot of us had penciled in as on the 53, right? Mm-hmm. And this also says something. Now, okay. Tight end Pharaoh Brown, roster cut. Now, here's a couple things. Number 1, he's a little long in the tooth. Number 2, he can't really provide you much special teams. And if you remember the last game he just had, he had a bobbled touchdown catch, and he had a missed block that went for a sack. I think, coupled with the not having special teams, Tanner Connor just took his job, dog. Tanner Connor finally ending up on the 53-man roster.
Well, one, I agree with you. Tanner Connor did take his job, but Tanner Connor took his job in the first 2 weeks of training camp, not anytime recent. When I was there in the first 2 weeks of going to camp and everything, I didn't go every day, so I'm going to point that out. But the days that I went, the tight ends didn't look good. Tanner Connor looked good. That one on Members Day that I told you, Tanner Connor caught almost every pass that was thrown. You know what I mean? But Barrow didn't flash for me. He had one catch in the preseason game, and that was it. And he had the bobble pass that you mentioned, and the sack. You can't let that happen. I think they like Tanner Connor way too much. And even Waller is too big of a name not to keep him. You know what I mean? You don't really know what you have in him, and he's too big of a name not to at least kick the tires.
The hype they keep. Listen, Waller better deliver, dude, because they've been hyping this guy on
and
all
Julian
day.
Hill, you know exactly what you're getting. He does. It's not sexy, but at least he does his job.
We got to get another pass catcher back there for what this offense is going to need. And it looks like they're gonna ride with the 53 man on a light.
You don't believe in Tanner Connor?
Oh no, I believe that he can do what they want him to do, but I think they're gonna need. I don't know. Maybe they're willing to go at it. I don't know. Again,
think about it. You got your pass blocker in Julian Hill.
Yeah,
right?
But are you gonna typecast your offense every time Julian Hill's out there? No, they want to throw to Julian Hill, and I don't like when they throw to him.
Yeah. You know? He can catch a 5-yard pass here and there. It's something.
You got to use Julian Hill sparingly because he gets so many pre-snap penalties. That's
true. That is his issue. I do agree with that.
Kills me, bro. Like, dude, that and fumbling make me want to punch somebody in their freaking head, dude. Like, dude, those are offensive pre-snap penalties. And infuriate me, bro. Infuriate. And running backs dropping the ball on the ground. Infuriates me.
Yeah, what infuriates me even more is when I get those formation problems, or even when you're doing the shifting to the right, but you moved forward when you're just supposed to go laterally. I freaking hate those types of penalties mostly.
But those you can see where the refs are splitting the hairs, and you can kind of go, all right, we're on this. Pre-snap penalty on offense should never happen. Running backs, wide receivers, quarterbacks dropping the ball on the ground should never happen, bro. Don't do that. That is giving up the game on those types of things. All right, let's get into it. So, is there anybody that I've missed?
Not so far.
So that's it. That's all I got. Is there anyone else left that you can think of? Because that's all I got was 11 guys. Someone told me there were 12.
Did they tell you who the 12th person was?
No. I just seen something like an article or something saying the 12 players Miami. I didn't read it. I was like, I only got 11. I've been watching all day. Shout out to a couple people in chat while you look that up. Larry, what's going on? What's happening, Larry? JC. Ew, gross. Bills fan JC. Nasty. Carew, what's going on? Hit the like button, Carew. Hit the like button. Gross, JC. Nasty. Mondo, what up, my guy? The father-son fight. What are you talking about, JC?
Oh, he might be talking about the fight that was in Ireland between the Kansas State quarterback dad and his son. A father and son fight in Ireland.
I don't care about that.
Irish people fight. I'm sorry, but I know they're not from Ireland, but I was trying to be funny about it.
In my family, it isn't a good holiday unless we're scrapping each other.
That's true. But they were really scrapping each other, like in the middle of the crowd, like that kind of scrap. So
yeah, I'm talking about somebody's bleeding, somebody's yelling and screaming. Yeah. That's how it ends up.
Yep. I don't know who this 12th person is. I have to look that up. So just
I don't think there is one. I think they're wrong. What's up, the E and the T shop? Salute. The E and the T shop. I like that. Oh, the E, is it the Eat shop?
Wow, big time running back became available.
Ooh, well, hold on.
Big time, but a running back became available that surprised me. Let's just put it that way.
All right, well, keep that pin in that because we're gonna get on to the next thing. So we know who's been cut.
Yeah.
Who is left? Who's left on this Miami Dolphins roster? That's the real question, right? Now, let's kind of go into this just a V bit, right? I think if we're gonna kind of look at who's left. Who's some of these guys? Who do we got left? We got a lot of guys left. A lot of bubble guys. Let's look into some of these. God. All right. What happened? Oh, I found something right here. Let me check it. I found all the cut players.
You did good.
I got James McKenzie. I'm checking it real quick right now. All right, so here's who's left on the Miami Dolphins roster. Okay, I was right. There's only 11 players cut. Yeah, I got everybody. So
unless they're including people that have already been cut.
No, I've got everybody. No, it was a typo on somebody's end.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into some of the guys who's left. Right, we got Zach Wilson, Tua Tagovailoa, Quinn Ewers. Those are our quarterbacks that are left. Wide receivers that are left are Andrew Armstrong, D. Estridge, Eric Ikuzama, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Malik Washington, Taj Washington, Theo Wees Jr., and then Nick Westbrook-Akine. Running backs currently on the roster is Devon Achane, Ollie Gordon, Jalen Wright. Then we got Alec Ingold as the fullback, as you know. Who's left at tight end is Darren Waller, Tanner Connor, Julian Hill, and Hayden Rucci still hangs on. I like Hayden Rucci. I think they should cut Julian Hill and give Hayden Rucci his job. I would take the potential upside for a guy. He's like 260, something like that. He don't move fast, but when he gets going downhill, nobody can stop him. You know what I'm saying? He's going downhill looking for the ball. He's big. He's tall. All right. Offensive linemen that are left. Ryan Hayes, Byron Matos, Patrick Paul, Keon Smith, Larry Borum, Aaron Brewer, Daniel Brunskill, Braden Daniels, James Daniels, Austin Jackson, Andrew Meyer, Josh Preby, and Jonah Sanayoea. Defensive linemen that are left is Zeke Biggers, Matthew Butler, Matt Dickerson, Kenneth Grant, Alex Huntley, Benito Jones, Jordan Phillips, Zach Sealer. Linebackers that remain on the roster is Eugene Adesanya, Quentin Bell, KJ Britt, Jordan Brooks, Bradley Chubb, Tyrell Dotson, Willie Gay Jr., Cameron Good, Daquan Jackson, Matthew Judon, Mo Kamara, Derek McLendon, Grayson Murphy, Jalen Phillips, Chop Robinson, and Channing Tindall. Cornerbacks that remain on the roster are BJ Adams, Cornell Armstrong, Ethan Bonner, Storm Duck, Isaiah Johnson, Jack Jones, Jason Marshall, Kendall Sheffield, and Cam Smith. Safeties, Jordan Colbert, Ashton Davis, Minka Fitzpatrick, Patrick McMorris, Ifantu Melifonwu, John Saunders Jr., and wait, I thought maybe John Saunders Jr. is the 12th guy that got cut.
I want to say he got cut.
I think John Saunders Jr. got cut. That's the one guy I didn't have on my list. Deontay Trader Jr., Elijah Campbell. And then we have Jason Sanders, Jake Bailey, and then long snapper Joe Cardona. Now here is the kicker. Do we now need a kicker? Like, before we get into who's left and who's on the bubble or who's next to be cut, for a little bit of putting together who are some of the roster bubble guys, I just went through. There's a couple names that jumped out to me who I think we got to talk about. Boom, 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 out of here. And we're going to say, we're going to try to hone into this thing a little bit. But Jason Sanders is injured, and he looks to be out a couple of weeks. This isn't something he's coming back from. They're saying it's hip. They're saying it's thigh. They're saying it's leg. I'm guessing something tweaked. If it's a groin injury, we are in deep. Dude, this is bad. Like, everybody wants to say, blah, 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 get a new kicker. Everybody takes shot at the kickers. But let's not act like Jason Sanders from what we ask of him. I get it. You're not asking him to boots, game-winning 60-plus yarders, but as Color points out, often he is the most highest percentage in every category. He is the best kicker the Dolphins have ever had statistically. Anyhow, not having him, what does that mean, Ali? What are we gonna do? He's gonna miss it. We're going to have to get somebody in here to kick, or do we? Because we've seen this in the preseason.
Well, I want to say I think we do because, to be frank, I think they had our punter making kickoffs during the preseason game. I could be wrong about that.
He did. He
did
kickoffs.
It didn't look good. It didn't look good, to be honest. I didn't
Jason
think it
Sanders good.
Yeah, it didn't look Jason Sanders good. And I think that's part of the game. Also, we're going to need those extra points. You know, you're going to need that one extra point because you can't expect to always hit on a 2-point conversion. It was cool that they did it during the entire preseason game. That was cool. And we hit like 2 or 3 of them. But for me, I just think that you definitely need those extra points when you can get them. I was looking at who's available. There's some names, but you know, is it Jason Sanders good? No, not really.
Well, there is a name. There's a couple names, right? I mean, if we're just talking a few weeks, I mean, if Sanders is down for the count, this is bad. Like if this is something that turns into 6 weeks, that turns into 8 weeks, in an offense that I don't know if it's going to have the explosiveness that it had 2 years ago, right? I don't think it's going to have the explosiveness it had last year. I could be wrong, right? I think it's going to be slow rolling for them to, try to get this offense clicking. I mean, whatever. Real quick, shout out to everybody in chat. I see Michael Carpenter's in there. Salute, hit the like button, take a little trip with me. What's going on, my brother? Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Everybody get them likes up. Oh, what up, JB? Back it up. Binge podcast. Shout out to the homie doing the Lord's work with some of those shows, my brother. Make sure everybody's hitting that like button. So, we'll put a pin in that kicker conversation right now, Ali, because I don't know who's available. It could be very seldom. I do know that
there's one big name, but there's baggage that comes with it. So that's why
Eddie Pinheiro.
No. I'm trying to find out if he's signed with anybody.
You talking about? Oh, I know you're talking about. You're talking about homeboy from the freaking Ravens. That's got that whole thing. Hey, bring him home. Bring him home.
You're like, I don't care. Just bring him.
I don't care if it means winning football. Whatever they got going on personally is not my concern. I could judge it and I could not like it, but and there's certain things where I draw the line at. But if the NFL's not drawing the line, then why should I? Where am I? I'm taking a moral high ground? This is a sport of gladiators. These guys are out there killing each other. What do I get?
Look past the issues that he's had. I mean, he has going on off the field. If you look past that and you just look at it for a football stance, the people that have been demanding to get an upgrade over Jason Sanders year in and year out, they'll be happy.
One
Tucker. I mean, just
Justin Tucker.
He's like the best you could get as an upgrade. Who else are you going to get that's better than that? What I'm saying?
Want to have the debate about not getting Justin Tucker? Fine, we can have that debate. But if we're just talking strictly, X's and O's, we're talking X's and O's and the points in the win column. Like, bring them in. I don't give a damn, dude. Hit the like button, everybody. All right, so let's double back if I can find it. Let's double back.
People already making comments about having Tucker and having Tyreek Hill here.
Hey, whatever.
I get
Team
you.
Bonding. Bonding.
I get what you're saying. That's like a big combo, but I was just talking about for the X's and O's, like on a football standpoint.
X's and O's, the bitches and the hoes, dog. X's and O's, bitches and hoes. Let's get it up. Win these games, boys. Win these games. X's and O's, bitches and hoes. Sorry, ladies. Sorry, Dolphin ladies that are watching. We appreciate you. You're not y'all. Not y'all. All right. So who's next on the roster? Like, who's a couple of guys that come to mind that are immediate bubble roster guys that, I gotta
go ahead.
Give me. Well, yeah, look, because we're gonna make our 53-man roster
Can we address this wide receiver room first? Because I have a big one that I don't know if he's going to make this roster.
Who?
Westbrook Akine.
Buddy. Oh, is this a? Let's talk about it.
Okay,
let's talk about it. Because Westbrook Akine, where's he been? Where's he been?
That's part of my question here. So you got Waddle, you have Tyreek. You know they're automatic roster spots. You know they're not going to go anywhere. Then you have you have Malik Washington. Malik, I don't think is going anywhere. You've spent draft capital. You gave a little bit of money. I want to say it was a 2-year deal, maybe 3-year deal for Westbrook Akine. He was this big guy receiver that he could be your seam guy, throwing the ball in the seam, maybe down the field, maybe your contested catches kind of guy. And I had some high hopes for him. The guy had 9, 10 touchdowns last season.
Yeah,
right?
He had there was some obscure stats that the fans loved to get. He had the longest touchdown reception average or some weird thing. Like every time he scored a touchdown, it was of the longest reception on average. It's these Dolphin fans will find the most obscure.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Dolphin fans; it's fans in general. They will find these most obscure things. It's not them, though. I just want you to realize, who's doing it? It's the organizations that's bringing you this dumb information you guys are running with. Go ahead, Ali. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So the reason for me, he's a bubble guy, and I don't know if he makes this roster. We talked about it earlier. We need players to flash, not once, but at least a couple times during the preseason. I think I can only count once where I saw him flash, maybe once where I saw it. Either in a game or in a practice. That's it. I haven't really heard his name. We didn't see them throw to him hardly at all. It was constantly Taj Washington and D. Eskridge. Those are my two guys that
and Malik Washington
play. Well, Malik, yes, but Malik's not going to go anywhere. So I didn't expect them to really work him because we've already know what tires he has. We've already kicked those tires.
Yeah,
Taj Washington. This is his first full preseason.
Oh yeah, they need to get him. He looks good.
He looks good, bro.
I think Taj Washington's the bubble guy, though. If we're being real,
you think Taj Washington's the bubble guy? I don't think so, dude.
I'm just saying we're gonna get into it. But I do like your take on Nick Westbrook Akine. First of all, he's got too big of a name. It's hard for people to say. It's it's a lot, dude. They're like NWI, and I'm like, it doesn't ring, TFTG, yeah. Like you can chant NWI, it doesn't work, it's a mouthful. Where's this guy at? And let's be real, the Dolphins do this like every year. It seems like they bring in some archetype body and or speed and like length and stuff like that, and they try to use these guys and they never work. Last year it was what's his name, Odell Beckham was the last guy they brought in here. The year before that, I'm sure we can find another name, the Will Fullers. Like they bring in guys that aren't schematically the type. And listen, I would say yes, get out in front of it, but I think that no, they don't want that because they like those guys downfield blocking for the dudes underneath. They like to run that. They like to run that
downfield blocking. I will even argue that I didn't see that very much for him.
I think they don't want to show that. I think there's a little bit of gamesmanship with him, and I think that that those twins routes where they both break across the formation, and the safety has to either say, "I'm going to dip back and take the guy," or he's going to bite underneath. And when they bite underneath on the Tyreek Hill, what they're not supposed to do, that's when you hit Nick Westbrook Akine for the over the top. But typically they're going to sit back on him, and that's where, he has to get out in front, whatever. Again, that's what they're going to use him for. And
I get what you're saying. This is why I'm going to argue it's not going to be Taj Washington on the bubble. Taj Washington showed, I would argue, a little bit too much during preseason. The guy, every practice, I heard about him having a good catch, showing a flash here or there, and in
preseason, people,
and you know what I mean by that.
I'm just kidding.
I know. And in preseason, the guy came to play. Him and D. Eskridge are those scrappy wide receivers they're gonna be 0 to 100 no matter what, and do whatever they have to do their job. Right. That's why I like receivers like that, and they really fit the bill. So you got, in my opinion. So let's talk about who we have in the roster then.
Well, hold on. I'm just going to rattle off a couple more names, and then I'm going to get to Mondo's question, because then we're going to start breaking down the roster.
No, I was going to talk about the wide receiver room. I was just going to end it with the wide receiver.
Oh, okay, yeah. End it.
So you got Tyreek, you got Waddle, right?
Yeah.
You got Malik. That's your 3. Now you need 3 more, because I don't see us carrying more than 6, right? So let's say you keep Eskridge and you keep Taj Washington. Let's say you do that. Who's on the bubble? It's between 2, and I'll tell you that, as much as I hate to say this, he showed more in the last game than the other guy has. It's between Westbrook-Ikine and Eazy-E. Those are your 2 options. So maybe
I do think
because of that, but
I also think that they'll carry 6, and I'm pretty close to an agreement with you. And I think if they carry 6, they're going to carry Nick Westbrook-Ikine and Taj Washington. That's what I ultimately think will happen. But we'll get into that. A couple more roster bubble guys to look out for are, again, we already said Taj Washington. And these are the names we really want to watch, because these are kind of the names the fans are going to be, I don't want to say surprised about, but yeah, some are going to be surprised. Tanner Connor, you know what I'm saying? Now, would it be a big surprise if Tanner Connor didn't make it? I don't know. Maybe they foresee Tanner Connor as a guy they could cut and then add back, and we'll discuss that when we break down the roster. Derek McClendon. Now, this is a guy that the team seems to be rejuvenated about. They're liking him. He had that sack where he raked down the front. He lit it up, but this comes down to business and money. We've got a real, we got a lot of guys competing a lot in that linebacking, outside linebacking / D end. Grayson Murphy, again, one of the other guys that are fighting for it. Quentin Bell, who we know has played here last year and had his successes and stuff like that. These are dudes we got to look at. Cameron Good. This is another name that if he got cut, there's going to be a little surprise. And I would say maybe, I don't know so much about McClendon, but Grayson Murphy, Quentin Bell, Cameron Good, these guys probably end up on other people's practice squads or rosters. They'll probably a lot of these guys are going to get picked up on waivers, for teams that are in need. I promise you this, teams that need DNs and outside linebackers are looking at the Dolphins, because we got a lot of them still. And I'm going to ask about that. We might want to stash more on that, because that's what's so important to this defense, right? They might go super light in the back end and say, we're going with a bare bones, and we'll add guys after, and we'll put some of these guys and protect them, because what's so important to this defense. We'll get into that. Ethan Bonner, he's been injured. This is a guy, because he's injured, would another team pick him up? Could they get away with letting him slide? Matthew Butler, which I know the team likes Butler and everything like that, but could we live without Matthew Butler? I think so. Dante Trader, where's this guy been? But these are guys that, were added early in free agency and were names we were kind of looking for. So without any further ado, I think these are pretty much, for the most part, some of the roster bubble guys. I guess we could get a little bit more into the weeds on some of the roster bubble guys. I would say, I guess could you say a roster bubble guy for Zeke Biggers? I don't know. I think he makes the roster. But let's kind of break into it, right? Let's try to make this 53-man roster, and you and I will.
There was a trade that just happened about 12 minutes ago. Do you want to talk about that real quick? Or just mention it? It's not Dolphin related, but there was a trade that happened.
Who?
Breaking news. This is big news for Cleveland fans or your Shedeur Sanders fans. Kenny Pickett, the quarterback out of Cleveland, was traded to the Raiders for a 2026 5th-round draft pick. So Raiders get another QB in-house. And
Kenny Pickett's like, Kenny Pickett's like, thank God I'm out of here. I don't care where I go. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. I would agree. Cleveland is at least we're getting closer to that picture. We see what they're going to do at that QB room, because that QB room out of all the teams is a mess, bro. You got Watson, which he's going to be injured. You got Flacco, and then you got the 3rd round draft pick, and then you got Kenny Pickett. So that's why it was kind of interesting. And now Kenny Pickett's been traded. So
shout out to Mondo, the homie. He says, do you trust Jonas Navawea protecting his savior, Tua? I would say yes. I mean, anyone would protect their savior. Like, isn't that it? Kind of answered your own question there, Mondo. But I don't know. I think Jonah has some work to do in the pass game, but in the run game, I like it. I think his ability in the run game seems to be as advertised. We'll see if he can find some balance with his pass protection. But yeah, shout out to Mondo for supporting the program. We appreciate you, my brother.
100%.
Where were we? All right, so let's get to this 53-man roster prediction. All right, so I'm just going to start it from the top. Okay. QBs, Dolphins are going to carry 3. It's going to be Ewers. It's going to be Tua. It's going to be Wilson. None of the 3 get cut. And say what you want about the pecking order of that. I say it's Tua, Ewers, Wilson. The team probably views it as Tua, Wilson, Ewers, for no other reason other than that they would rather Wilson go in and fail than break what maybe Ewers could be, rather than let him just completely blow up and that's the end of any investment with this kid. I don't know. I think if it would be smart to let Ewers go out there and play if Tua did go down, but that's not what they'll do. And they will carry 3 because, let's face it, Tua has gone down every year. He only played 1 season healthy, and he wasn't healthy enough, if we're being real. Well, I guess he was healthy.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are you sold that they will ride it with Zach Wilson in this room? And the reason I say that is we saw Ewers flash a lot. The talk seems to be Ewers. The team likes Ewers a lot. But there's another quarterback that just got released. And I'm just curious, would you swap him for Zach for that other quarterback?
You talking about the quarterback that got released from the
Detroit Lions?
No. Oh, is that Hendon Hooker that got released?
Hendon Hooker.
I would love Hendon Hooker, but let's listen. No, I wouldn't.
No,
okay. I would get Hendon Hooker. The Dolphins will never. They'll never. And the reason is because Hendon Hooker is a guy who struggles in timing-based offenses. He would come in and immediately be a liability. Like, you can't even ask him to map more of the offense.
The reason
to operate it.
The only reason I would consider it, I know the Dolphins won't. You're right. They're probably going to stick with these 3. There's no changing it. They're all 3 are making the roster. The only reason I would consider it is because technically Tua and Quinn Ewers are one and the same, just one's right-handed and one's left-handed. My opinion. In my opinion. You want to have that third guy that's a juggernaut, as something that's different.
Nope.
And
I agree with you. You want the changeup. I want the changeup. I want the offense that has the changeup.
But the team doesn't.
You not doesn't. You can't. Not with this offense. You can't. You can only hope to God you got somebody that can operate it as good as the guy you're having operate it daily. That's it, because the offense is too specific with do bing boom bing. There's no freelancing, and if there's freelancing necessary, those guys can't really operate the offense. So, all right. So there's our 3. I'm gonna go with the running back room. With the cuts today, I'm going to use the information. I would have made this anyhow, honestly. Devon Achane, Ollie Gordon, Jalen Wright, which they'll those 3 guys, and then Alec Ingold. So there's only 4. I do be on the lookout for them to either A, try to get some type of complimentary back to replace what they need from Achane, or B, because Jalen Wright is going to be getting surgery, both of which. Maybe Achane comes back sooner and they don't need an ETN. I don't know, whatever. Let's not get into that. Look for the Jeff Wilson Jr. type of running back to be signed at some point.
There's one other one that just became available today. and he's a Florida boy. So people are going to be like, bring him home.
Who?
Cam Akers.
Oh, I heard. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I-
He's been in a committee before.
I know Cam Akers is good. No, again, he was. I get that there's offense familiarity with it too, all of that stuff. I don't think Cam Akers. No, thank you.
Okay. I
Bring him
personally
in.
don't want
Bring
him,
him in, sure.
but I can see the team doing it. That's all I'm saying. There's a $5 donation. Yes.
Shout out to Papa Paul, West Coast Dolphin fan boy. Has your preseason, with preseason over, has your outlook changed to the Dolphins? No. I get that a lot of people have, especially with the poor showing of the offense the first two drives, and the eventual finally got it doing something on a third drive. And in any regular game, you would have been down 7-0 against any competent opponent. When you're going to go against the Jaguars 2s and 3s, that hasn't changed my outlook at all. I think this team is exactly what I anticipated to be, an 8-win to 9-win team. You can lean 7, but middle of the road goes because of the NFL parity. And I'm sorry, but everyone wants to say get Tyreek Hill up out of here. But when Tyreek Hill's on the field, everything is different. Everything's different. And if you don't believe me, look at the formations they were getting all preseason. Hit the like button and watch the formations they'll be getting when Tyreek Hill's ass is out there fucking running all over everybody. Wait. They are scared, and they should be, because all it takes is one missed tackle with him at full speed down the middle of the field on a fucking 8-yard route, and he's gone 40, and your whole team's sucking wind, and then they can give it to Ollie Gordon, bang you up, and then throw a freaking little zip pass for a tight end. Like, that's what this offense can do to you because of Tyreek. Now, they're trying to figure out ways without him, but I don't care what anybody says. I don't care.
I think at best they're 8-win team. At best. That's my opinion. I think that the offensive line, I know people are saying, I can't wait to see Ollie Gordon with the ones. Yeah, we saw that during the preseason game, and it still wasn't good to me. Like, even bringing in what's his name, Jonah, even though we have Jane Daniels and stuff, I just didn't. For me, it wasn't. Not Jane Daniels, but you know who I'm talking about. Daniels, the guard. It wasn't
James Daniels.
James Daniels. I'm sorry. It wasn't perfect. There's a lot of issues still with pass protection, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. I do believe in Ollie Gordon, though. I do think he eventually becomes RB1, and Achane is eventually going to be listed as a wide receiver. I think that's what's going to end up happening.
All right. So now that we're coming up to a group that we're going to see, I think, a lot of flies. Like, we're going to see a lot of flies drop when they start cutting this wide receiver core. Now, I do want to add a couple of these bubble guy names, if you can remember these bubble guy names. But I'm going to go ahead and give you my prediction for the wide receiver room. I think they only carry 6. Unless in some which way or another they carry 7, but that's a guy who could be cut, immediately to bring someone else that's claimed off waivers. Those are the names that happen like that. But Tyreek Hill, obviously. Jalen Waddle, obviously. Malik Washington, I think, is an obvious thing at this point. I think D'Estridge, an obvious thing. And I would say, on the contrary of everybody, Nick Westbrook-Akine, obvious. They're going to bring him in. And then to me, the bubble guy, if you want to call it that, is Taj Washington. I think he is the 6th man that makes it. I really do. I think that's the guy that, ultimately pushes beyond the limit, and he makes it as the 6th man on there. Now, a couple of the names that we're looking at as guys that, got beat out by Taj Washington, and maybe they would, bring this. That we're looking at a guy who flashed a lot. Is Theo Wees Jr. That was the guy who, what's his name, was just lighting up all day. Ewers was lighting up all day. And then this is finally the year that I think Eric Ikuzama gets beat out. Now, again, we know they like the Nick Westbrook-Akine body style, and that's why Eric Ikuzama was brought in here to be that. It's also why they brought another guy who's going to get cut, Andrew Armstrong. They want these guys that have that flying over the top speed, but they also want their bigger bodies out there blocking for these, tunnel screens and shit like that. Maybe Nick Westbrook-Akine can be a guy that, they say Eric Ikuzama is finally taking a step forward. Theo Wees Jr. I think they bring Theo Wees Jr. and or Eric Ikuzama back. Andrew Armstrong, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I had high hopes for him. What do you think? Those are the couple of guys. Andrew Armstrong, Eazy-E, Theo Wees are the guys that are on the bubble that go off. And then I would say if we're gonna be looking at the one guy that if they went 5, that would probably end up being Taj Washington, would be that ultimate bubble guy.
So for me, and we talked about it already, kind of. For me, I agree with you on who the people that already have a roster spot. Waddle, Tyreek, Malik, those 3 already have a roster spot. I think Eskridge makes this team. I'll tell you, Taj Washington makes this team. Westbrook-Akine is who's on the bubble along with Eazy-E for me. And I'm going to say that you're probably right, because they have a little bit more money invested. It's probably going to be Eazy-E that gets cut. I think you're right about that. And they'll keep Westbrook-Akine. Now, here is the flip side of it, though. If they cut Eazy-E, I don't think they bring him back onto practice squad. You bring back Theo Wees, yes. You bring back Andrew Armstrong, because Andrew Armstrong is still raw. He didn't flash as much as I would like, but he's a big enough guy. There might be something to work there. You know what I mean? You might have to give him a year and let him develop, get a little bit bigger, kind of teach him a little bit, the offense a little bit more. That might be somebody that you could, work with later on. But Theo Wees definitely, that's somebody I expect them to protect on the practice squad.
Yeah, I think a guy like Theo Wees is someone they will protect. I think they would prioritize Eric Ikuzama over him, but I think he gets snagged up by somebody, personally. I really do. I think he ends up on someone's 53 if they let him go.
Theo Wees?
Eazy-E. I think Eazy-E will end up, because here's the thing you got to remember. There's all the time invested in him that they've put in, and other organizations that run this system and that run these types of things, they're going to prioritize the work you put into that kid, and they might be able to, get it pushed on to somewhere else. That's just how I see it. If they could only pick one extra guy to put on there, Theo Wees or Eric Eazy-E, they'll pick him over it because of the time they spent investing on the body type, the learning the offense, understanding the types of things they want from him. So that would be like, hey, at the very minimum, this is a guy that's giving us something that we want to use offensively and practice with reps. So
interesting.
So now we're coming up to just write these down. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So let me see. 1. We're gonna go into the O lineman now. This is where it gets a little tricky, because I'm wondering, do they carry 8 or do they carry 9? They should probably carry 9. But with the talent at the bottom of me putting 8, I think 8 is almost generous, because some of these guys I just, I'm not very high on. Let's call it 8, because I got the names right here. Jonas Sullivan, obviously, he's a rookie. He's going to play. Patrick Paul, obviously. Aaron Brewer, obviously. James Daniels, obvious. Austin Jackson, obvious, because they're saying Austin Jackson's going to be a go week 1, which honestly, that's going to be really good for us. Now, here's where it starts to get a little dicey, right? Because outside of our top 5, it's a crapshoot with any of these other guys. It really, really is. Here's the thing. I don't know what's up with Eichenberg. Do they put him on their 53 or do they immediately, I don't know. Like, can't they, I think they can tag not on their 53, 2 players to designate to return, 2 protected players that don't count against the 53. Don't quote me on that.
I think there's some feature that may be available that allows them to do that. That's why I think like some people are going to end up on the roster just for 53-man reasons, so they can be put on IR or whatever.
Put him on the reserve, physically unable to perform list, and I think he ends up on that. And I'm pretty sure you get 2 players, or you can put 4. You can put 4 on the list, but 2 of them you can bring back, and 2 you can't. So you can only reactivate 2. So I think Eichenberg doesn't take up a roster spot. I don't know why you would, though. I got to be honest, because the other 3 guys I have that make out 8, which I think they should keep 9, but the other 3 guys that they keep out is, we got Larry Borum, Keon Smith, and I got to even look up his name, Daniel Brunskill. Like, these 3 dudes, like, I mean, okay, they keep 8. Well, let's just call it for now that Eichenberg gets put on protection. Okay, he doesn't take up a roster spot. So hold on, let me just write that down. All right, so I'm writing that down. I mean, the bubble guys. I mean, I want to put Andrew Meyer on there, but he might be the other guy that ends up on the list. You know what I'm saying? Andrew Meyer might be the other dude because he, center guard Andrew Meyer. He might be the other guy that they end up putting with Liam Eichenberg. I don't think they need to. I think they can put him off the 53 and grab him later, honestly. Breeden Daniels, he's getting cut, Byron Matos, cut. Ryan Hayes. That's an interesting one because they've kept him around for a while. What do you think about Ryan Hayes? Do you think
he cut him and then brought him back?
That's true. That's true.
I think they could cut him too. We do need another offensive tackle for depth reasons.
Well, that would be Keon Smith, who I would take immediately off and put somebody else, honestly. I know they like Keon Smith because he can play both ways, but I don't know. He's worse than Eichenberg by a mile, by a long shot. All right. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I kind of want to maybe, dude, Larry Borum, Keon Smith. Oh, didn't Breeden Daniels get cut today? He did. All right, so that's it. Those are the 8 for now. I think at the bottom of that 8, and I'm only putting 8 because it's a thin position outside of starters. I think at the bottom of that 8, it's a toss-up between Keon Smith, Brunskill, and obviously Larry Borum. Those are the 3 guys. Whichever they prioritize. If someone goes down, if someone comes available that's better as a tackle, they can get rid of the one that's stronger in a tackle. Someone gets better as a guard, they'll get rid of the guy that's better at guard. That seems to be the position right now. Shout out to Joe Wrists. What's going on, Joe? He says, are you guys expecting us to add anyone cut from another team, especially O-line? Yeah, I do, actually. Like, really, I'm literally on a position I think they need 9. I'm only giving them 8. So there's probably going to be somebody else on my roster that is on the bubble guy right now. So,
I don't necessarily trust our depth behind the ones, to be honest. So it won't surprise me if they do. There's a guy that got cut today by the Lions that I really would love to have here, to be honest.
Yes. And also for Dolphin fans, remember trying to put together the unicorn offense years and years ago. Um, you know, what was his name? Lyle Collins.
Leo Collins. Yep.
Yep. Remember we were trying to put together a unicorn. So just saying. That was diabolical, dude. That was diabolical. I shouldn't have done that. That's mean. Okay. So right now we got 3 quarterbacks. We got 4 running back and fullback. We got 6 wide receivers. We've got 8 offensive linemen, right? And let's go ahead and bring down a little bit. Let's go. Where do we want to go next? I guess let's go with D linemen, right? Let's go D linemen.
Okay.
Now this will not include outside linebackers, DNs. We're just talking about the tackle position, that type of situation. So let's look at D linemen. Zach Sealer.
Kenny G.
God, this pen sucks. Kenny G, obviously. I think he's going to be good. There's talk about him, whatever. I think Benito Jones, he's been nicked up, but he'll be ready week 1. Kenny G.
People asking why we're keeping Benito Jones over.
I'll tell you why, because he's fucking good. He's solid.
He's a different type of defensive tackle versus Kenny G or Zach Seiler. He's your nose tackle.
I think Kenny G kind of. Yeah, I think when you're looking to rotate your D lineman in, you want a guy like Benito Jones, who, by all accounts, knows the defense, knows it well, has communication, is a leader to the young guys. It'll go back to anything. Zach Sealer is doing his stuff, but the spoken leader that the young guys are following is Benito Jones. That's just how it is. Jordan Phillips, I think, makes it. Just trying to do name recognition right now.
Figures.
Yeah.
Figures makes it. Yeah. Even though he is a 6th-round draft pick or something like that.
I think they just like what he brings. You know what I'm saying?
He's a massive dude. Definitely.
I think they just like what he brings to the team, and he's worth it.
So how many is that?
You got Alex Huntley, you've got Matt Dickerson, and you've got Matthew Butler. If I had to pick between those 3 dudes on the D line, I'm going Matt Dickerson. Easy. I think.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah,
so how many would that be?
That's only 5, which really, with this defense, that's only 2 relief guys. You know what I'm saying? You're asking Jordan Phillips and Zeke Biggers to come in and relieve Zach Sealer, Benito Jones, Kenneth Grant, and that's really the 3 dudes you're going to be getting a lot of work from, is those 3 tackles. And then you're going to be leaning on guys like Phillips and Biggers to come in. That's only 5 guys. You know what I'm saying? We know Kenneth Grant's going to get a bunch of snaps. We know Zach Sealer
at 6.
Huh?
You had Dickerson at 6.
No, I only had 5 guys. You have
Kenny G. You have Zach Sealer, right? Those are your starters, your first 2.
Yeah.
Then you have Benito Jones, Jordan Phillips, and Zach Biggers. That's number 5.
I have Phillips. I have 5.
And when you add Dickerson, that's 6.
Well, I don't want to. Oh, I did add 6. Yeah, you're right. Because I have Benito Jones, Kenny G, Zach, Phillips.
I will say the bubble person, it depends if they're going to keep 6.
Yeah,
I think they keep 5, but I think Dickerson would be the guy for me.
Yeah, okay. So that's what we'll do. Perfect rendition. So that's how many? 6 guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go 6 for that number just now. Now we might add a couple of mofos, when we get down to it.
Yeah, when we get down to nitty-gritty.
Yeah. Now here's where it gets a little bit chummy in the water, because the linebacking unit is massive. It's massive because D end and outside linebacker and inside linebacker is all one gigantic room, and rightfully so, because that is the heartbeat of Weaver's defense. That's what he wants this defense's identity to be. A couple of big boys up front and a bunch of guys that you can do a lot of different things with at your linebacking and outside ends, as far as pass rushing and coverage goes, and how he wants to use these guys. So, let's see. I mean, how many do they keep? They probably keep, I would say probably keep like 10. Well, maybe 9. I mean, that's a big unit. You got to keep a lot of guys. So, I'm just, you know what? Let's go through some of the easy names. So hold on. Let me start writing down some of the easy names. So LB, Law Bitch. We'll go Phillips. We'll do Chubb. We'll do Chop Robinson. We'll do Jordy Brooks, obviously. Brooks. Okay. Let's do Dotson, obviously. Dotson, and then I guess Willie Gay. Yeah, he did really good. They used him a hell of a lot.
You guess Willie Gay is definitely making the roster.
Well, because I'm looking at all the names and I'm like, okay, Willie Gay, KJ Britt. I'm just kind of looking at it. I guess with this defense, they're going to need linebackers. So Britt's probably going to make it. Plus, they signed him early.
So who do you have on the list so far? Name who's on the list.
All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the list so far. So there's 3 more spots. We've got Phillips, Chubb, Chop Robinson, Jordy Brooks, Dotson, Willie Gay Jr., and Kenny or KJ Britt. So I think
Matthew Judon, I think, makes this roster.
Yes, Matthew Judon. Yes,
Matthew Judon makes this roster.
I think so. And that gives us 2, 4, 6, 8. 8. I mean, if we can do 1 more, 2 more, and really here's where we get into. So I think we're all in agreement with those first 8. Now here's where it gets a little bit.
And this is where it gets tough.
Sticky. This is where it gets a little sticky.
You have you have Kenny Britt making this roster?
KJ Britt.
KJ Britt, I'm sorry?
Yes. I do. I do.
Okay, I'm 1 foot in and 1 foot out, so I'll keep him on there for mine. I'll keep him there for right now. But go ahead, continue.
All right. So here's where we get done. So right now we have 8. Let's say if they only keep 1 more, which I just don't think. I just don't see. I see them going heavy with the talent that they have, because once I start rattling off these names, how do you make a decision? You got the new team favorite, Derek McLendon. You've got Mo Kamara. You've got Channing Tindall, which I guess he's come on as of late. You've got Grayson Murphy. You've got Cameron Good. And then you've got another guy who the team seems to be rallying around in Eugene Adesante. That is a lot of perceptive talent to what they're going to have.
We keep 10, but I do think we keep 10. But I'm going to say right now, Channing Tindall is not making my roster.
Oh, no, I'm not putting Channing Tindall on the roster.
Channing Tindall's not making my roster.
He's not my roster. They want to squeeze him on it.
There's 3 guys in question, and this is what you got to figure out who fills up those roster spots. I think he's flashed enough, and I think he would get picked up. Grayson Murphy. You have to keep Grayson Murphy on this list. I
would say yes. You've seen Grayson Murphy flash enough, and he's put some tape on right now.
Now,
I don't think. Well, hold on. I would say well over Grayson Murphy is Quentin Bell and Cameron Good.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. Quentin Bell and Cameron Good. What do you do here? I think Quentin Bell has done enough to make this run.
Quentin Bell makes the team. I'm going to put him as like a kind of bubble guy.
Cam Good, though. Cam Good. He's good, and he rises to the occasion, But the issue for me is that I know for a fact, I personally think if you were to cut him, he's not going to get picked up by another person. You could put him on the practice squad very easily. I think you could do that with Cameron Good. So for me, Grayson Murphy gets a spot.
I got to be honest. Grayson Murphy, I think, is easier after a roster cut than Cameron Good. And let me tell you why. Cameron Good actually has NFL film and a decent amount. He's got special teams value.
Yeah.
That you're not, I mean, I'm sure you're going to get some of it from Grayson Murphy, but I have proof is in the pudding.
I know, but Grayson Murphy has flashed too much that teams know his name now. They know his name. They know he's out there. And I'm telling you straight up, he doesn't clear waivers. I personally don't think he does.
I guarantee you Cameron Good doesn't. I guarantee the day
we
Good
him once before and brought him back.
No. His very first year, we cut him off the practice squad. But since then, he's gotten bigger, he's gotten faster, he has gotten more tape. And when people went down at the outside linebacking unit last year, he stepped up. Plus, he's had some special teams big plays made. He's, the guy has put film together that I gotta be honest, that Grayson Murphy doesn't have. Like, you can have the projection. This is the toughest thing right here. This is the hardest of the roster spots. So we're only gonna carry 10.
For me, I'm if it's my roster, I'm keeping Grayson Murphy. That's where that's
all right. Let's do
Cam Good. Okay, yeah, but I don't know. I would have told you that if Matthew Judon wasn't here, Grayson Murphy, Cam Good, and Quentin Bell are making this roster no problem.
Yeah. He's really the late addition.
Who am I cutting in place of this? So it's like,
he's the late addition that I don't know. Oh, there's another guy that's going to get cut right away. DeQuan Jackson, he's not getting there. I think guys like Eugene. I said Ajune because I was reading Asante and Eugene. I think Asante is a guy, and McLendon is at the tops of the list of guys they want to put back on the practice squad, and only to be toppled by either Cameron Good or Grayson Murphy. Those two dudes right there. Oh, and Mo Kamara. Damn, I completely forgot about Mo Kamara.
He doesn't make my roster, bro.
He doesn't make. He's been too injured. He hasn't. There's been nothing to see from him as far as.
But even in his rookie season, he didn't even Cam Good at least flashed where you knew his name. You know what I mean?
Cameron Good has flashed in game. That's how I see it. Cameron Good has flashed in games.
Yeah.
Not just in preseason.
He did. Even his rookie season, he did.
Yes, even his rookie season, he did. I'm telling you.
More doesn't make it for me.
Let's see. I'm just writing some of these other guys' names down because I want to keep them in mind for later.
However, I will tell you this, though. We talk about the Dolphins possibly stashing players, and I know some people hate the idea that we actually do that. But they do. I really feel that they sometimes use it to their advantage. Grayson Murphy might be one of those guys they could stash too. You know what I mean? Because to be honest, if he was slightly a little bit bigger, I honestly think he would. He could maybe give you a run for your money at the fourth best defensive end or outside linebacker.
I would say, looking at, I would say this. Looking at what we have and some of the lack there of talent, I would cut somebody in my O-line room before I would take the protected roster spot to bring somebody back. Now, if you want to stash them for next year, maybe. Mm-hmm. That's what you're talking about, stashing them for a whole year. You want to deactivate Grayson Murphy on the IR and never bring him back? All right, I'm willing.
You can have him build the muscle, get better fit and everything to be the guy for the following year, just like they did with Taj Washington. That's why Taj Washington looks so good now.
I think if they're smart, they're all right. Whatever, we'll get into that.
Real quick, who's and it's because I don't have it switched to their regular handle name. So who is Carew 704?
Not sure. Not sure.
He says,
Take
y'all,
Murphy
I'll
over
take
Britt.
Murphy over Britt. This is what I'll tell you about that. Kenny, like, if you look at it, who are our middle linebackers? We got Willie Gay, right? We got Brooks, right? But
Yeah,
beyond
but
that,
we've got Dotson, Brooks, and Willie Gay. Those are our stand-up linebackers. You need another guy in rotation, and KJ Britt. That's it. That's all you got.
And Britt would be your good, like, it's a running play. You're throwing him in there because he would be one of those.
He's going to stuff the hole, and Britt is taking. I mean, listen, I understand your guys, Cody and Carew. I understand what you guys are saying as far as talent level. I think the upside of Murray, Grayson Murphy, I mean, is worth betting on over a guy like Britt. But we need Britt more. Now, if you want to say Britt is a roster bubble guy, I'm willing to agree with that. Somebody they'd add, but they need that to be a standing linebacker. You can't have Grayson Murphy playing freaking middle linebacker or the Sam, standing back there. Hit the like button. You heard?
So check this out. Talk about hitting the like button. And this is a hot take on Grayson Murphy, and then we'll move on from here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grayson Murphy, when it's all said and done, in my opinion, I think he becomes the next AVG for our defense. That's what I'm going to tell you. I could see him doing that.
I think, listen, I'm willing to hear that. I'm willing to entertain that. I think he does have immense upside. I'm just wondering, to me, Good and Murphy, I think it's a coin flip. If you wanted to say Murphy over Good because of what you think, fine. But I know either of those guys are walking the day you cut them. Somebody is taking one of those two dudes. You cut, or even Britt. You cut Britt, Murphy, or Good. All three of those guys are getting picked up right after. And say what you will. So I think, all right, let's get on to the next core group here. And we kept 10 in a unit. You should probably keep 9. So,
thank you for the $10 donation, Grumpy. Thank you so much.
Salute to the homie Grumpy, pitching in, keeping the lights on here. We appreciate you, Grumpy. Salute to the homie. Let's get into it. Cornerbacks. Now, I would say this, right? I'm going to start off this unit by taking someone's name off and putting them right on IR. And that's going to be, that's right. Set to return. Because he's going to be out.
I don't know. They might put him on ER.
IR.
Or IR, I'm sorry. I think we might bring somebody. There's some names that have popped up that are not named Asante Samuel, that are not named Stephon Gilmore, that have become available now. Could we bring another person in? That's going to be a big question mark.
I think, you have to. And I think that all of what Ethan Bonner does with his speed, they want, they desire, they like. And again, like, he's white lightning.
I think they like him athletically, but for a football IQ, I don't think he's put it together yet.
I think he is, and that's the thing. I think he just I think they've just shown a propensity to really like this guy. I think they're going to put him on IR and protect him. Now, maybe not. Maybe this injury is worse than anybody knows. Maybe they put him on IR and he stays deactivated all year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's not set to IR to return. Or maybe they just put him on IR and feel it out and see what they can bargain bin shop and if they do need to call him up or not. See what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I think no matter what, they don't want him to be available. They think that Ethan Bonner is taken if they're not going to protect him. In which case, I don't think they put him on the 53.
No, and I don't think they risk. I don't think they risk to have him snatched up in a heartbeat as well, because they wouldn't protect him if they cut him and put him on like the practice squad. I honestly think that the IR is probably right. That's probably what's going to happen. I just don't know if they're going to bring him back this season. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. All right. Geez, this cornerback unit is bare bones, bro. It's bare bones.
Do you want
It,
me to go down the list on who's going to make the team?
well, I'm going off of just right now because I would say conservatively you need 6 cornerbacks, right? Five if you're going extra conservative. Now we do know. Hold on a second. Go ahead with who all the cornerbacks we got.
All right, so this is who I think is going to be on it. Storm Duck is making the roster. Kendall Sheffield's making the roster. Jason Marshall makes the roster. Jack Jones makes the roster.
All right, stop right there because I have Storm Duck, Marshall, Jack Jones, Sheffield.
Yes.
That's before you got? That's right where I'm stuck at.
So far. Yes.
That's where I'm stuck.
After
Now,
here, the only other person, maybe Armstrong, maybe.
Cornell Armstrong, I mean, he's as far as a guy that can play multiple positions and they're going to do ixo facto some maneuvering around with the nickels and the safeties. We know he can also play a little bit of that safety position. I would say just to give me 5 cornerbacks. Cornell Armstrong
he beat Robinson, but they cut it.
I know that's the crazy part, dude. Like I would have put what's his name, Hilton on it. Oh, I know who's one of them. Cam Smith. I don't know why I'm blanking. He's definitely making the roster. Say what you want, 2nd round pick. He's kind of put it together. So we've got Storm Duck, Jason Marshall, Jack Jones.
Oh, I have Cam Smith not making this roster, by the way.
Kendall Sheffield and Cam Smith. There's my 5, and that's only 5. Now, here's the thing. Cornell Armstrong, BJ Adams, which I think he gets cut.
Shout out to Joe Levesque, TFTG crew and chat. Going to be a long year. I agree. Yeah. It might be. It very well might be.
We're going to be here, brother. Don't worry.
We're going to be here. Definitely.
We're going to be here.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have Cam Smith making the team.
I do, only because he has to.
Why does he have to?
Because what are you going to make? We're going to bring 4 guys?
No, I think they're going to bring more people. Yes, I do think that. Or we could be trading. There's a lot of trades going on right now. There was a corner about 12 minutes ago that got traded from the Vikings.
I got you, but you still need like 6. You still need 6 corners. I can't imagine not having 6 corners.
I do agree. I think they might look at trades. They might look at who's been cut and bring more people in. What I think is the reason that you don't bring Cam Smith back, he didn't show you anything. This is year 3.
Kind of the last couple of games he was out there.
He kind of did. He had 1 play in preseason. Channing Tindall has shown more in preseason than Cam Smith has. All right. And this is a guy that people were like, oh, he's so good. But who was there on the draft board? I hate taking colors takes. But Tyreek Stevenson was on the board, bro.
I got it. But Tyreek Stevenson ain't coming back. He ain't coming.
I get you.
So
that's why
I'm about it too.
What I'm saying. That's what again. But the point is that
you're gonna go at 4?
So bad, bro, that I would have rather kept Mike Hilton over Cam Smith. I would have rather kept. Excuse me. I would have kept a lot of people over Cam Smith. That's how bad he looked, bro. Especially in the first 3 weeks of preseason, it was so bad.
I don't know, man. I think there's a little hyperbolicism with him. I agree. I agree. Cam Smith has looked like an absolute turd, but
he's trash, bro. He's absolute trash.
I get it, but really, in this defense, what you need is young guys that can move around and cover ground and zone. And if he can just do some of that with a second-round pick,
that's the problem. He can't cover ground because what happens? He gets beat. He gets beat out on the outside all the time. He has no IQ for the football, right? And then on top of it, he can't even put in the effort, bro. You just argued with, not argued, but you debated. Let me correct my words. You debated keeping a undrafted rookie, Ethan Bonner, on the roster because you like what they have in him. I will tell you, Ethan Bonner has showed more grit, more passion.
I don't think anybody's going to argue that.
Than
I don't think
Cam
anybody's
Smith
argue
had
that.
this entire training camp season. All right. I'm sorry. For me, cut your losses. Quit trying to make a square go into a circle because it ain't gonna happen. Right. And let him go. Let him go be someone else somewhere else. In fact, I'll tell you what, you want to make a big time move that I would be okay with? Not really a big time move, but it would be a move that right now, this is how bad I think of him. I'm willing to trade Cam Smith to bring Noah back here from the Commanders.
Listen,
I would do that right now.
they're not getting the Commanders like Noah. They're not dumb. They're like, hey,
I know.
I would say maybe Cam
That's what I'm
Smith, maybe Cam Smith can be traded to Jacksonville for ETN. See, everybody's got a little sussing. You know what I'm saying? Just a little callback, people. That's a pro tip. Pay attention. Tip your waitresses.
The corners over there. I don't know if they need.
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to Jacksonville. What am I, an asshole? Again, here's the problem I have, because I've already taken Ethan Bonner off the list. Now here's a problem. If you wanted to put somebody else on that IR protective list, then you could, and you could put Ethan Bonner right on as a one of your 6 DBs. Because honestly, we only have 4 any of us can agree upon. We've got Storm Duck, Jason Marshall, Jack Jones, and Sheffield. Those are the only 4 I think we agree upon. We don't agree upon Cam Smith. I guess we kind of agree upon Armstrong. I think Armstrong makes the roster. I kind of like that, Joe. I kind of like that. Well, again, we'll see. I'll tell you what I've done. I've got 6 cornerbacks on this list, and I've got Storm Duck, Jason Marshall, Jack Jones, Sheffield, Cam Smith, and Armstrong, and I've got Cam Smith and Armstrong as bubble guys. And I say it's a split because who else is there? I mean, Ethan Bonner's on the IR. So what are we talking about? We're talking about BJ Adams. This is an undrafted guy. That's a local. You're talking about Isaiah Johnson. Who the fuck is that? Who's Isaiah Johnson? Do you know who Isaiah Johnson is? I don't.
Oh, Isaiah Johnson. He's some.
Again, exactly.
Isn't that the Bills guy we had? Or
nobody knows. It doesn't matter. And I'm not, no shade on him. God willing, he makes our roster. He's a fucking showman. But really, BJ Adams, Isaiah Johnson, neither of those guys are going to be the 5th or 6th dude. It's coming down to Cam Smith and Cornell Armstrong because Ethan Bonner's on the IR. That's where I have him for now. Now, if you want to take Cornell Armstrong or Cam Smith off the roster for Ethan Bonner, done. But that's where we'll leave it for now. Let's move to the safeties. Because safeties, let's count how much we got right now. We've got 3 quarterbacks. We've got 4 running backs and fullback. We've got 6 wide receivers. So that's 13. We've got 8 offensive linemen, which really I think we should only have 5, but we'll go with that for now. We've got 6 D linemen. We've got 10 linebackers. And we just did 6 cornerbacks, which really we could go 4 or 5, depending on Bonner on IR. So that puts us at, what is that? Let's see. Carry the, so we've got 12, 28, 29, 30. So we've got 42. No, 43.
So we have 43 people. So we have 10 spaces available, right?
No way.
If we have 43, then yes, we have 10 spaces available. And we have just enough. I would say we have just enough. You want to go through it, the names?
Well, hold on. Let's because I wrote in an extra name on 1 or 2 of these, so let me count it up real quick. Hold on.
Sure.
We got 43.
Yeah, okay. So we got 10 spots available, and I can go through the names with you. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So for safety, who we're keeping, I can tell you right now, Minka Fitzpatrick, guaranteed. Right?
Yeah.
Ashton Davis, guaranteed.
Hold on a second. Let's do Minka. Who?
Ashton Davis.
Yes.
I'll say Melifanu or whatever, how you say his name. He's guaranteed.
Yes. Yeah. He's
Dante
supposed to be
Trader, guaranteed. Those 4 already are guaranteed. Here's where it gets interesting. Something.
Wait. You're saying Trader is a guarantee?
Yeah, we used draft capital. He was what, a 3rd or a 4th round draft pick? Yeah,
I would say if I'm going over
maybe
that,
5th round. I could be wrong about that, but go ahead.
I would say Elijah Campbell's more of a lock than anybody on that. Like,
I wasn't done yet, so I mean that's very possible.
How many safeties we getting? 5?
It's going to be it's going to be 5. It's going to be really close, but about 5 is what I think. So for me, the guarantees it's Mika, Davis, Dante Trader, and Melifanu. Those are who the guarantees are, in my opinion. Trader specifically for the fact that you used mid draft capital on him, so that's why he's a guarantee. Patrick McMorris is a guy we really liked last season, and we did say that he has ability that could put him in a corner slot. Maybe the nickel or something like that.
Yeah, no, I like Patrick McMorris for certain. Yeah. So I'm putting McMorris on it, and I'm going to go heavy on this. I think they're going to go 5 safeties.
Okay.
McMorris. And I think so. We've got Davis, Melifanu, Minka, McMorris. And I think for my 5th, I would go Elijah Campbell. And say what you want, but Campbell can play everywhere in the secondary. He's been on this team.
You're not going to keep your mid draft pick, your safety out of Maryland. Then
I think Trader makes it past waivers before Elijah Campbell. Elijah Campbell gets picked up day 1. I mean, really, for being honest, we can take both of them. Because that's how many players we got left. We've got.
Well, I personally think they could very well keep maybe 6 safeties.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've got 5. You wanted to keep Trader.
See, I was hiding McMorris on the depth chart only because the fact that I think he has an ability to.
No, I think McMorris is. I think McMorris is one of the top, safeties. Honestly, I think you put Campbell over McMorris, but I think if you're going to stash anybody and do that deactivated Taj Washington IR, it's going to be Dante Trader, and I actually might just put him on that because he's a guy.
I just don't know, bro. Because for me, you used draft capital to get him. You got a 5th round draft pick out of him. And we have an issue with even cutting 5th round draft picks. Thinks they're gonna hit our practice squad because look what happened to the wide receiver. Or what school did he go to? Arizona State or someplace like that. And we thought he was going to be the hybrid tight end wide receiver for us, and he got snatched up instantly off.
Oh yeah.
I don't want that to happen again. For me, it's this. I think Trader makes the roster. McMorris is the one that I think you might be able to do something with him like that. But I think he could maybe make this roster only because the fact that I think he does have an ability to play like a hybrid safety corner type of role. Real
quick, I wanted to shout out a couple people. CCRR, I see, made it in here. Who else did I see? I see TD. I see TD admin. I don't. Greg in here. Ryan AP. Joe Nightmare. Hit the like button. Crypto. What's good, Crypto?
Mr. EM says that you need to.
I don't know who that is.
Scratch out. He's telling you
Chef Jew in here. What's up, Chef Jew? Greg, I said Greg. Yeah, that looks like everybody. I don't see anybody else in chat. Oh, Joe Levisky. We already said hey to Joe. Yeah, that's it. Cody. Yep, I don't see anybody else worth mentioning in chat at all. What's up, Papa Paul? He says, what happens to the kicker that stood outside of training camp last year? Bring him in places. No, all right. Well, oh, Bahana. What's up, Bahana? And there's an aspiring rapper in here. Shout out to Eminem Dolphin, who give it to him, Bahana. Let him know what the situation is. Appreciate you. I didn't see you earlier in the chat, Bahana. Miss him?
Man, with EM, the aspiring rapper that keeps calling you trash, does that make you MGK?
No. Makes
sure
me
you're not Machine Gun, because if he,
I'm Trick Daddy, baby. I'm Trick Daddy 305 all the day. I'm Trick Daddy. That's it. That's it, baby. I'm Trick.
Okay, that's all, folks. He'll be here. Make sure you tip your waitress.
That's it. That's it. That's Eminem Dolphin. I'm Trick Daddy. Fuck out of here.
Oh my god.
Hit the like button. All right. How many safeties do we ended up keeping? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 safeties, bro. So that leaves us with 4 open spots, which is exactly what we're gonna need because they're not getting. I mean, Jason Sanders, they're putting him on the 53. Now, if you want to put him on IR, you might as well just get rid of him because they're not going to do that. He's going to come back too soon for them to, because I forget how many games for designation to return they have to be out. So I think it
depends when they get put on the IR, before the 53 or after.
So after 53, it's different. Before, I think you have to stay out to like week 10 or something.
Maybe.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So you have to stay out to like week 10. So I know it's a couple weeks. It's certainly
there are some names. We mentioned it earlier. There's some names.
I got you, but Jason Sanders, no, we're not doing that. So we got Jake Bailey, we got the other dude, and then we will have the 53rd open roster spot for the kicker we're ultimately going to need, which is crazy to think that that's what's going to happen. The Dolphins will go into the 2025 season with 3 quarterbacks and 2 kickers and a punter. They'll have 3 kicking mofos and 3 throwing mofos on a 53-man roster. Crazy.
I don't know if they do that, bro. I think they bring in a corner to take that person. And
what do you mean they're gonna add him after?
No, but this is what I'm saying. I think that after, like you said, after the 53 is announced, then they put Sanders on the IR and then bring someone in temporarily for him. But I think that extra spot's going to go to the corner position because I think we only kept 4 or 5 corners.
We kept 6 corners.
We did keep 6 corners.
We kept 6 corners and we got 6 safeties. So really, you should only have 6 corners and 5 safeties. But that even left us with a lot because we went 8 O linemen. We only have 3. Oh fuck, dude, we missed a whole unit.
Tight ends.
We missed a whole unit. No wonder we're over here throwing extra people on.
Now we got cut people.
Now people are getting cut. So
Big Morris, I'm sorry, bye.
Okay.
Big Morris is gone for me. I hate it because I love the potential of what he could become. We saw flashes of it last year, right?
Yeah.
That's why he ultimately, I think, made the roster because of it. But you know what you can get when you have the other 2 guys healthy, when you have Ashton Davis and Melifanu, or however you say his name, healthy. I think those, it's kind of hard to say no to those guys.
Hold on a second. Let's get our tight ends in here.
Okay.
Because let's get our tight ends in here. Pause. Let's see. I think we can safely say that Darren Waller.
Yep.
Waller.
The next name, Tanner Connor, 100% guaranteed.
Wait, because I think if we're gonna go in a formational list of players, Tanner Connor is still underneath Julian Hill.
I don't know about that.
Again, I know what I agree with you, but on the depth chart with the Dolphins, they don't. They will.
Yeah, but the depth chart with the Dolphins doesn't mean anything. Do you understand? Until they have their official depth chart after the 53, then maybe it means something. But right now,
Tanner Connor's on this team because of special teams. And honestly, if we're being realistic, we only need to cut one person in one unit. And I honestly think if we're going to go ahead and bring it down to the end, our bubble roster guys, and we're going to do it right now.
For people that are asking, this was I want to say, hold on, let me see if I can see what year it was possibly.
What's up, Blazy?
This was one of the 2015 or 2016 NFL draft hats. This is the official hat for the draft. It had like this foil shiny bill as well.
That's pretty dope.
And it's kind of shiny there. I don't know if you can see it on cam, but
all right, we got 10 minutes left, Ali, and we got to close this bad boy down because we had a whole separate segment, which we're going to have to just wait till tomorrow when we see everybody that's cut. Honestly, we had one last thing, but we're just going to have to get these 53s in. If we're
who do you have with the three? You got Waller, Hill, Tanner, Connor, right?
Hill, Connor. So that's three. We're going to need to take away one guy from our cornerback, or excuse me. It's either Elijah Campbell or Trader that's at the bottom of the list.
Okay, then it's Elijah Campbell for me.
Okay.
But I will say this though.
Patrick McMorris.
Go back to well, yeah, that's who I want, who I think is who's staying there. But quick question for you, real quick. Running back room. Did we add Alex Ingold to that running back room?
There's only 4 people there. It's Achane, Ollie, Gordon, Wright, and Alec Ingold. That's 4.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
So, again, and I would take somebody, but we've only got 8 people in the O-line room. I would take somebody in the linebacking room, but right now we have 10. We have a tie between Grayson Murphy and Cameron Good. So I'm going to leave it there because one's making it and the other's not, and that still gets us to 10. Really, I'd like to keep 11 there, but we can't. Cornerback room, we have Storm Duck, Jason Marshall, Jack Jones, Sheffield. There's the 4. And then to round out to have 6 guys, we have Cornell Armstrong and then Cam Smith. Now you could say Cam Smith you can drop, but I got to be honest, cornerback is more needed than the other stuff. So we're already thin as shit at cornerback. We can get rid of one of these safeties to give us 5 safeties, and that's Minkah Fitzpatrick, Davis, Melifanu, and then
wait. Is this true? Did Deontay Trader get injured?
Yes, I've been saying that.
Oh, you didn't say that? You just said you didn't think he was making the roster.
That's why I put him on no return IR. Oh, I didn't say that? Maybe I did. That's why I have him on no return IR.
Let me.
So I think Minkah, Davis, Melifanu, Elijah Campbell, and McMorris are the 5. So that gives us.
What everything has been said about it is that it's not serious at all.
Yeah, but again, for a rookie who's in a room that you're splitting hairs with, you might as well IR him and do the Taj Washington to him. That's the guy they stash is Deontay Trader. That's why.
Okay. All right. Well,
they stash they redshirt this kid for a year.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see. We have. Let me get the numbers down. 7, 13.
Chef Drew is saying that you need to let Julian Hill walk. I agree. Let him walk.
All right. We have 3 spots for our special teams guy, but we need to either cut Julian Hill, Tanner Connor, Elijah Campbell, Patrick McMorris. It's one of those guys that got to go.
Elijah Campbell.
Elijah Campbell. I think Patrick McMorris goes over Elijah Campbell.
That's you. I'm going to take the differ.
All right. Well, we'll go.
To be honest, it's a 50. You could do a 50-50 coin, bro, because it's one half dozen the other.
Yeah, that's the same
It's going to
thing.
be Elijah Campbell or it's going to be McMorris. Take your pick. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. To be honest, I think the team is still where it's at with Elijah or with McMorris. The only reason I like McMorris better is that I kind of feel he may have some ability to play corner in a pinch if we absolutely needed it to be. Like I think he might have that ability possibly.
All right. Well, let's give our 53 rounded up right now. We have. I'm gonna do the small units first. We're gonna go long snapper Joe Cordona, Jason Saunders as the kicker, Jake Bailey as the punter. Obviously, our quarterbacks are gonna be Tua Tagovailoa, Ewers, and Wilson. Our tight ends are going to be Darren Waller, Julian Hill, and Tanner Connor. Those are the three. We're going to go running backs. It's Devon Achane, Ollie Gordon, Jalen Wright, and Alec Ingold. Wide receivers is Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Taj Washington, which that's the guy that's on the bubble, Malik Washington, D. Estridge, and Nick Westbrook-Ikine. D line is going to be Zach Sealer, Kenny G, Benito Jones, Phillips, Biggers, and Matt Dickerson is the guy who ends up on the bubble roster at the end of there. Jordan and Biggers become two rookies that make it. O-line, we'll go with the O-line now. We're going to have Jonah, obviously, Patrick Paul, obviously, Brewer, obviously, Austin Jackson and James Daniels to round out our top five. And then the three guys, we only took 8, was Larry Borum, Brunskill, and Keon Smith as the final 3 bubble guys. I think you could insert anyone else if someone becomes available. Linebacking core, we have Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Chop Robinson, Jordy Brooks, Dotson, Willie Gay Jr., Britt, who you could –
Britt. Yep.
KJ Britt, you can kind of say is a little bit of a roster bubble guy if someone becomes available. Matthew Judon, Quentin Bell, and then it's a toss-up between Grayson Murphy and Cameron Good. So cornerbacks, we kept 6. We got Storm Duck, Jason Marshall, Jack Jones, Sheffield, Cam Smith, and Cornell Armstrong, which to me, I think Cornell Armstrong is a low-hanging fruit in that room to be if someone can become available. And then safeties, Minka Fitzpatrick, Davis, Melifontu, and then we have Patrick McMorris and Elijah Campbell as one of those final roster spots. Guys, let us know in the comment sections at the end of the video who you think we're wrong about in our predictions right now. I think it's a pretty solid prediction. We have a couple of toss-up spots that could go either way with in the cornerback room, in the safety room, in the linebacking room. I mean, that's those couple of rooms you could toss up, and then a lot of roster bubble guys that they're going to look to add in. So make sure you guys are tuning in tomorrow. We'll be on again, and we'll go through who has been cut, who is gone, how right we were, how wrong we were, and then we'll also go into who's available because we have our roster bubble guys. If any of these guys that we have on here are there, that's a position that we could take from. So shout out to everybody for making it in here. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we're going to see you guys next time if you guys come back. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. That's not really that cool, Ali.
It's not.
So
It's not.
hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you guys next time. Fins up.